The dragon collides into Monarch's castle, shattering it into 1,000 pieces. Oh my gosh, we've been gone for such a long time. Sorry, I've been having a daydream this whole time to keep myself occupied, I guess, but I forgot that the daydream's over. It's real now. It's actually happening.
Is the dragon the third shade?
The third shade? I don't know. Oh yeah, you guys. Some of you have watched the little one shot we did, but some of you have not. So the concept of a third shade might get you thinking, where's the second shade? Oh man. Well, so many shades, so little time. I've missed everybody so much. Welcome back to Death2Divinity, the very first, God knows it's hopefully not the last, but the way we're heading, the last all fat, all queer D&D show. We're the only ones who's ever gonna do it. Buckle up, we're one of a kind. We're here tonight to give you the first part of our 2-part finale. I hope that you, I sent out the email. I hope that you constructed a seatbelt for your desk, chair, or wherever you're watching it. Oh, if you're watching this from like a cush little sectional, I had to donate mine this week and I am in sectional withdrawal. So if you would just post that in Discord of you in your little sectional watching this, that'd mean the world to me.
Also, if you have sectional recommendations, Katie
I'm
May will
in
take those.
business for an emerald green sectional, and that has nothing to do with this. Welcome back, everybody. I missed you so much. Oh my gosh. We have been away from Acrimon for far too long, have we not? Some of you, it's been a month, right?
Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
So during that month of reflection, what did you learn about Gideon?
About Gideon? Sorry. I wasn't thinking about Gideon when I was in Palm Springs, man. I was watching Survivor and drinking. I learned that Gideon would also probably like doing that.
You would love doing that. I would love to talk with Gideon about Jeff Probst.
Oh, that would be great. I learned that I think, Gideon feels very responsible for a lot of the really lovable NPCs that are anchored to them right now. And both Gideon and perhaps myself are really terrified for their well-beings. As my bastard child has been shuttled into responsibility. And it's horrifying.
Whenever you
so
say
scary.
your child, I usually think you're talking about your cat, and I was like, "Is Hades a dad? What?"
No, he's sleeping right now.
For a second. Oh, I hope you have a good nap. Oh, small boy.
You can see his little tail right above my head, maybe, if the camera shows it.
I'm praying for it. So, all right. I'm glad that we've learned these things. Did anyone else learn anything during their time of reflection? You had a lot of time to reflect as Brine, because you technically haven't been Brine for a long time. Anyone else?
Well, I think I reflected more as Julian in our time off than as Brine, largely because if Brine dies, I will become only Julian. And so I think I thought to myself, I've had 2 seasons of development with Brine. I've had 2 episodes of development with Julian. So maybe I should just focus on building this secondary character just in case, right? That makes sense. Unless we are all become Shade, which could also work, because we still haven't done that. But it's coming eventually, I think.
Wouldn't you like to know? Any other revelations in your time away? Perfect. I love leaving you guys with unanswered questions. Just things to agonize over. No revelations.
That silence was terrified.
What?
Current
That
reflected back
terrified.
and was like, looked at all of the questionable decisions they've made over the past 2 seasons and didn't learn from any of them. So,
Great.
What decisions were you maybe hoping that she would have learned from? Which one of those decisions were you like, man, a learning opportunity, and yet?
Maybe just right out the gate making a promise with the Fae probably wasn't.
God, what a legendary first move. Oh, I'll never forget it. Oh man. Well, I'm glad that you guys have all reflected and began to prepare yourselves for what is sure to be a not at all harrowing night. It's a marrowing night, if you will. I'm I'm so excited. Oh boy. But in order to get to the part that I'm excited for, we must first make it through everyone's favorite.
Actually, before
Yes.
we do that, we have to do some quick business stuff. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Die Hard Dice. You can use the code Death2Divinity at checkout for 10% off your order. And as always, we will be giving away a $50 gift card to Die Hard Dice during our break tonight. And then last but not least, the really cool little pixelated art that we're using for all of our maps and characters is One More Multiverse, which is currently in open beta. Cool. So it's in open beta right now, which is amazing. You can go join their Discord, check out all the updates that they're doing. That is it. I think that's all that I have. I would love to stop talking now. I'll hand it back over to Katie May. Okay, cool. Thanks for sitting through that with me. Not that.
I was waiting for them to finish and notice what had just happened.
Incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we're starting off the season 2 finale with some chaos, I guess. Great. That's not terrifying at all. It'll be fine. Molly looks so concerned.
I'm just scared.
Yeah, that's fair, baby.
I don't know if you guys remember, but the last season finale didn't go great for me. So
I don't know if you guys remember, as if people aren't still talking about that single moment a whole season later.
You know, I'm just afraid. I'm very excited.
I know what would help quell your fear.
What?
Recaps.
Okay.
Yeah. To time daddy. It will make you feel more in control of your fate. To daddy
So
time.
right.
I don't know who won. And you can't make me find out. So I am going to pick.
Oh, Sam won. Thank you.
Oh, Sam won?
That's right, I
Great,
did.
thank
And
you
if I
so
remember
much.
correctly, I didn't waste, but I used my inspiration on some clownery. If I remember correctly. Pretty sure.
That would also be the best guess. So, you know. Well, you're gonna go first. Well, not first. You're not gonna go first. You can pick who goes first. Who are you picking to go first?
I am going to choose Lyrica.
It in my bones.
Erica.
Hello?
You have 15 seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 15 seconds. All right.
You
This is
ready?
gonna- Yeah.
You got this.
When you're ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
The party gets ready to split. The team finds out that they need to go to Mariage City, and specifically to a casino that we find out is actually run by Malaya Pira. Monarch gets mad that we fought Luso by ourselves. Gideon and Shade end up going to the ship and discussing some prophecies.
You got a
There
lot.
was so much. There was so
Time
much.
off sounds are my favorite things in the universe. Beautiful. Lyrica, who are you picking to go next?
Molly.
Beautiful. I will father myself. Okay.
Oh, I love to see you father yourself. Let's do it.
It's great. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Ula gets intel on where to go in Mirror City from Centrine. Curran gets a haunting goodbye letter from Balpini. Winona and Ula kiss. Gideon praises Lil Dreer. Jade insight on the prophecies. Brian and Mara see through Cynthira's eyes, and Curran decides to take the throne and leave Ula in their stead when they go into the heart.
Hot. Wonderful. Very hot, very wonderful. I love that. I love that for us. I love the capability. Who's going next?
I believe Sam's going next.
You believe Sam to be going next?
Hello,
Mhm.
Tommen is going to help me.
I thought Tomlin would give you strength.
Yeah, she will for sure.
You ready?
Okay. No, but let's do it.
Great. 3, 2, 1, go.
the party splits. Oh God. Brian and Gideon get some more information about the prophecies from Chade. Brian also has a weird little bonding moment with Corvolan where they talk about necromancy. She and Maro go into a bathtub. They're still under that water. Kurt appoints Ula to lead in their steed as they go into the heart. That's all I got. And Kita.
All right, let's not get it. All right,
Let's
You are gonna
unget
get it.
let's unget it.
I'm here to be
All
your
right,
time dad, and I believe in
when you're
you.
ready, when you're unready.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ula makes a ton of calls, finds out where we need to go next. There is stuff with the Monarch and me and Ula. And you know what? How much time do I have left?
3,
Real quick.
2,
That's part of waking
1.
up is Folgers in your cup.
Do we have a Folger spawn?
I don't know, but
No,
I got
that's not her.
inspiration for that.
Just the song
It was
alone. It was
amazing.
beautiful. I wept. I don't know if you guys saw.
Thank you. It's just I just was overcome with the inspiration that
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Perfect. Well,
Quick note, just because somebody did ask about it in the chat. Our dearest Nico is taking the night off just for some much needed
Their internet is
self-care.
down.
And also their internet is down, which is the most stressful thing in the world, especially when you're trying to do like a cool imagination game with your friends. We've all been there. So they're not going to be here tonight, but we will have them next week for part 2. So send them all your love. We love Nico. We miss them. Hell yeah.
all right. Well, we got the votes open, sweet gamers, for you to vote for who's getting that sweet inspiration for tonight. To remind you and also my players, we do have an inspiration pool that is, you guys have a ton of it, really.
Isn't the inspiration pool empty?
To remind you, you have 1 piece of inspiration in the group pool. You have Kira. You have 4 inspiration die to use. Sam, you have 0 inspiration die to use. Lyrica, you have 1, and Molly, you have 3.
Yay!
Perfect. All right, so use those wisely. One of you is about to get another one, which I cannot wait to see. Let's see. Before we hop back in,
random.
Yeah.
This is so random. But I just realized that chat never got to see my thick boy die.
I would love you to show off the thick boy die.
Look it. I hope it focuses.
Oh my God.
Still so gorgeous.
That looks like a drink from Starbucks that I would
As a
drink.
reminder,
Right.
Die Hard Dice, we love you. The incredible dice alchemist over at Die Hard Dice made the entire cast custom oversized D20s. And Kita's took a little while to make its way to her, but it got there eventually. And so finally she has it. But that's very exciting and it's so pretty. I love the colors too and how representative it is of Winona. It's so good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have my Gideon dice here with me every time you play, even though you can't see them. They're always beside me off
How do you
camera.
set the vibe?
Congrats on that inspiration, Molly.
Molly!
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and add it to your pool.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Congrats. Well deserved, if I do say so myself. We are hurtling ever closer to the finale, gamers. How's your heart rate?
I'll actually check with my Apple Watch in a second. Give me 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Check in with that sweet apple spawn we've got going.
111.
Not thick boy
God.
shade.
All right, 111. That's
I have
pretty
pots,
high.
It's fine.
Okay, great. I was like, are you medically cleared to play? Yes, no, that makes sense. Great, awesome.
Oh, I'm at 80. I'm at 80 right now.
Before we go into whatever hellacious thing you have planned for us, though, Katie Mae, I love you. Please stay back.
I love you all so much. I'm so excited to tell stories with my best friends tonight.
We love you too.
We love you.
Love you.
Oh, my heart rate's going up.
Whoa,
Great.
whoa,
It's going up.
whoa.
Continue.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm just making that noise like an asshole.
Oh.
I'm sure this also like doesn't help the heart rate, huh? It doesn't. It's like, oh, she's all right. We're normal.
It is not serving mental wealth. No, it's not.
No,
It doesn't
it
give us
really
mental
isn't,
wealth.
is it?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna hop back in. I would like. I'm going to show a number right now to the person standing next to me. And then, Molly, I would like you to give me a number between 1 and 10.
Cool. 6.
A 6. All right, Lyrica, give me a number between 1 and 10.
3.
A 3. All right, that's, what was the number?
It was a 4, so Lyrica was closer.
Lyrica, which of us would you like to start with? Would you like to start with you and Monarch, or would you like to kick it over to the other team first?
Oh. You know, I selfishly am gonna ask for the other team just because I want to know pretty immediately what's happening.
Hilarious.
like Lyrica the person wants to know.
Those bus feels feel great. Those bus feels feel awesome. Thanks.
Perfect. You would like us to start at the Annabelle Lee. Perfect. We will start there. And remember, the Annabelle Lee has been in the air for, gosh, not very long at all, was it? Maybe half an hour heading into.
It's been a little longer than that. We've had several things happen on the ship. I feel like it's been at least an hour.
Oh, did we recap what those things were?
Yeah, we did some of them.
I
Brian
did.
and Crumble had a little moment. We learned about the prophecies from Shade. Gideon and Morrow hung out in the bed together. Morrow and Brian are now in the bathtub.
Thanks. I was just
I'm
antagonizing.
also in the bathroom with them, and then there's sexually charged praying, which growing up a gay person in a Catholic environment felt very familiar to me. With you and another girl being like, "I sure do love God." Anyways, does anyone else relate?
I grew up in a religionless household, and I think that somehow made it worse.
Just something about that felt very familiar to me, but we'll unpack that off stream.
I love it when you tell on yourself, Molly. Anyways, that's my favorite thing that you do. Sorry for laughing at you. Oh my god.
I'm laughing at me too.
My god, perfect. So, you all are hurtling along. Let's say that it's been 2 hours, shall we? A solid 2 hours. And you're all, from what I hear, in this bathroom, which would make watching the sun disappearing over the horizon pretty hard to see. Brian, can I get a Constitution saving throw from you?
Already with the saving throws? Oh my god. Absolutely you can. Maybe you can't. I just tried to open my character sheet, and it doesn't exist.
I don't think you're in the Death2Divinity universe right now, and that does seem like a you problem.
Where am I?
I don't know where you are.
Oh god. Okay, hold on.
Can I roll for you? Do you know your con?
Thank you. Yes, please.
I don't, unfortunately. I'm literally in the tutorial. How did I get here? What is happening to me? Okay, I'm leaving and coming back.
Do you have a +2 modifier?
Maybe?
That's what it is.
Let's see it. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go for it. And roll. Oh, I rolled a nat 20 for you.
Molly,
I love
thank you
to
so
be...
much for that fantastic Constitution saving roll. That is so legitimate and valuable, and I love you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
It's not a natural 20 for the slacker. Are you kidding me?
The first die roll of the finale, and it's a nat 20. Let's go.
Is a good omen for you and a terrible omen for me. Oh no. All right. So Brine, you are currently exactly where we left off, underneath this water. Morrow has dipped underneath it with you. And there is that confusing few moments of silence as you realize you can't hear anything, right? Normally you'd be able to start perceiving through other eyes, but nothing's there. And that's when you notice the other glowing pair of eyes. Now, this would might terrify anyone, cause them to jolt out of the water, maybe choke a little bit as they're trying to get up to the surface. That's a natural 20. So you can tell me how you handle this jump scare of a moment.
Well, so we've already seen whom we're assuming to be Nakia's father, this red-skinned tiefling man, and then now it's just a glowing pair of eyes. And I think at this point, Brine has she's seen some weird shit, especially with her Eye of the Planeswalker that Gideon gave her, with like the imprisoned gods that she saw when we were going through. I don't remember if it was like a train or a wagon. So I think she kind of just stares into these glowing eyes in like a very challenging way.
Challenging. Yes, well, I guess that's the most you can do, isn't it? Because you're underwater, you can't talk. You couldn't scream even if you wanted to. You stare into this third pair of eyes, clearly not the wide and kind of terrified eyes of, not terrified, but just as startled, I think is the fair way to put it, eyes of Morrow, who is also underneath here with you. And go ahead and roll an intimidation check for me, so I can see how you're handling that.
Okay. I still can't get into.
Well, you can ask Molly to use all your good luck.
Wait. Is it gonna
There's
work?
a little arrow.
Yeah, multiverse doesn't like me. I'm just gonna. My roll 20 sheet I don't think is updated.
Okay, go ahead and roll for us, Molly.
I gotcha. I'll do a 20 or a +2 for investigation because it's Brine.
Yeah, sure.
That seem right?
Sure.
Yeah, and I think they're succeeding, so I think it's gonna be the last one.
If it's any higher than that, then we'll
A
figure it out.
19.
Nice. Thank
What
you.
is up? Okay, geez. Okay, so you. It looks like
I think I'm in now. I think we're good.
It looks like this intimidation you're trying to get across, whatever it is. It seems to be is working in some regard. But since it is working, what kind of energy are you trying to give off in this moment?
I think it's very "what the fuck are you doing here" energy.
So you're giving like Simpira has just pulled up to your table at lunch at middle school and you don't want her to sit with you?
Yeah, very like Mean Girls, like it's Wednesday and you're not wearing pink kind of energy.
Okay, I will write a note here that you that you gave Simpira an uninviting glance with a 19. And I think you watch these eyes narrow slightly before rolling. And then she shuts her eyes. And you can see just this pair of closed eyelids. And it stays like that for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It looks like that she is going to sit here, eyes closed, meditating for as long as you are here.
There's no way for me to like communicate with Morrow in this space, right? Like I can't, like I don't suddenly have telepathy or anything like that.
I mean, you could open your eyes. It would just kind of like sever that connection. Right? You would be open eye seeing.
Okay. Is there any way that I can do like a perception roll? Can I like hear what she's hearing, or is it only if she has her eyes open?
She seems to be as muted underwater as you are.
Sinpira does? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna open my eyes and see if I can see what Morrow is doing.
Yeah, so you open your eyes and you see that first and foremost, Gideon, how have you been dealing with just watching these two people who don't like each other very much, who you have been romantically involved with in some way or form, just kind of catatonically sitting in a bathtub together underneath the water?
I think Gideon is kind of amused, and I remember Gideon being brought some dirt and worms shortly before this happened. So I think they're literally just sitting on the floor of the bathroom eating dirt and worms, just quietly watching this take place and keeping an eye out for things break bad. Because I think they understand what's going on with like the mind vision stuff, but there's not really anything they can do about it. So we're just gonna have fun while we can.
I love that. Perfect. So we're having fun where we can. Brine, you open your eyes. You see Mara with a very disgruntled look on her face, chilling underneath the water. You can see they're kind of like holding their chest tighter and tighter by the second. They're kind of running out of breath. And then Gideon's just kind of standing over the bathtub, like with a weird little like smile on her face. Kind of like just like a little smirk. So that's what you take in.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna reach forward. Like I'm gonna reach forward and kind of like grab Morrow's arm as kind of like a like wake up kind of gesture, in the hopes that she does not allow herself to run out of oxygen underneath the water.
Yeah, it looks like she was about to, but you doing that is kind of enough to snap her out of it and get her to pop back up above the water. Do you pop back up at the same time?
Yeah, and I think immediately I just say, well, if she's keeping her fucking eyes closed, we're not going to be able to see anything.
Yeah, but if I'm keeping my eyes closed, she can't see anything. So
Tomorrow, that's a waste of time. There are other things we can be doing right now.
They're all things she'd be seeing.
Only if, because she's under, yeah, you're right. Okay, well,
I am right.
We can't go through life with our fucking eyes closed, and we have things that...
You've been doing a pretty good job so far.
Sorry. Can she sense when you're both scrambling around in her head?
I think so, because we made eye contact, and then she closed her eyes.
Oh, but that was only when she was under the water, theoretically. We've been able to, I mean, I was able to spy on you for like a while without you noticing. So I think that's part of the deal.
Setting aside the awful implications of that particular statement, how would we know when she's out of the water? Do we just keep checking?
I don't want burying myself in a bathtub to be part of my patrol routine.
Well, and at a certain point, is she not going to figure out that that's what we're doing if she's just staying under the water and waiting for us?
I don't know, Gid, what do you think we should do?
Well, it's not like we have any way to sever this connection, and it might be useful for us in the future. I guess avert your eyes from anything really important going on? I don't know. I mean, did you see anything when you were...
Since we're heading into Mirage City. Like,
yeah.
Wait.
I mean, did you see anything with her? Did they tell Gideon what they saw the first time they went under?
We asked you if your dad had red skin, and you said no, that your dad had green skin, and so we surmised that it was probably Nakia's dad that we were seeing.
Okay.
Brian is gonna look at you and go, wait, does the spell only apply to the eye that I had when we cast it?
I mean, I'm not an expert, but I would guess so, probably.
So what happens if I move the patch and just use the new one that you gave me?
We could test it with Morrow right now. I mean, if Morrow can see through your eyes, then maybe...
Can they see through this one?
Yeah.
All right. Brian's going to reach up and move her patch from her planeswalker eye to her normal eye. Why are you making that face?
That's Mara making that face.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's acting. Have you heard of it?
I'm so sorry. From the planeswalker eye over to her regular eye. And it takes, I think she still gets kind of like nauseous when she first starts looking through that eye, but then that's what she's gonna do. And then she'll turn to Morrow. Katie May, can you remind us what the planeswalker eye looks like in Brian's face?
It is this electric blue orb that gives off this like faint teary mist of purple. And then if you stare and look into the eye long enough, you see these holographic flecks of this electric purple that you know so well that is poured from your back, that catches the light in the most gruesome of ways.
So that's what Morrow sees. And I think Brian just kind of like takes a deep breath and says, I have two questions. Number one, what can I see with the planeswalker eye right now? And number two, does Morrow react at all to that?
Looking through the planeswalking eye, you can see that wherever you are right now, well, thing certainly does seem to be happening. As the sun sets over the horizon in Acramon, it too sets in the wilds. Roll an Arcana check.
Arcana, you said? All right. That's a 6.
6? No. This is too magical for you to understand. This is a magic with which you don't study, you don't talk about, you don't know about. But it's powerful. And it's so present in this spot, you think to yourself, there's no way that's not a portent of what's happening in the very spot I'm in Acramon as well. Mara looks slightly disgusted, but generally supportive of you being capable.
Brian is going to describe what she sees. And then tell Morrow to go under the water again and see if they can also see it.
What's that last part?
She tells Morrow, like, all right, like, give it a shot. Tells Morrow to go back under the water to see if she can also see it.
Mara slides under the water. And
I think I'll put a hand on Morrow's shoulder as she goes under. Just like a supportive touch.
Yeah, she puts her hand up to kind of put her hand on top of that hand. She stays a few seconds and then pops her head back up and says, no, I can't see anything.
Brian grins And she says, all right, well, I think we found a workaround.
What do you mean a workaround? You can't see anything that's around you, and you're not trained in non-sighted fighting.
Guess I'll have to adapt, huh? If we don't want Simpira to know what's going on, we need one of us to
hit me with one of your daggers.
Brian asks Gideon for one of her daggers because she gave Gideon her like belt before she got in the tub.
I hand Brian a dagger in this bathroom.
All right, hit me.
Brian slashes forward.
Please roll an attack at disadvantage.
Should I use my colossal tooth or my anatomist knife? Which one did you give me, Gideon?
The least lethal.
Okay, so probably just the regular knife, huh? Okay. Let's see. And we're gonna roll twice.
The one tipped with poison for sure.
The first roll was imagine being able to do math, a 22. And then the second roll was a 16. No, 17.
17?
Uh-huh.
I think that her AC is an 18, but she's not wearing her armor, so I actually don't know what her unarmored AC is. But it's probably below 17. So yeah, you how do you do that well?
So toxically, the first thing my brain just thought of was Daredevil. For those of you who don't know of what Daredevil does, Daredevil is blind. And so he has these like extra sensory abilities. They're not like magical. They're not really a superpower. He's very good at honing in on like what's happening around him with his other senses. So I think honestly, Brian kind of like takes a second and she just like takes a deep breath and she knows where Morrow is because A, they're not sitting that far apart from each other. B, it's a small tub. And C, like she does have a certain amount of muscle memory working with her daggers from the years of using them. And so I think those things combined just kind of give her the ability to like lash out with confidence and actually land a hit. Which I think she just like slashes it across Morrow's arm. I don't think she's going for like damage. She just...
Yeah, Morrow catches the dagger in time and goes, whoa, okay. All right. You can do it. I get it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not going to do that. So I guess if it's really important, I'll just close my eyes.
That's our best method. And also, to be fair, not to take away from your victory, Brian, but you did manage to stab an unmoving object whose position you already knew in a small bathroom. Not that I don't doubt your abilities, but
that's fair. Realistic. Why don't we go try a moving target then?
Oh, let you just throw knives at okay.
Have Crovalone bring one of those bones that he's working with to life and see if I can hit it.
Okay, we can do that.
That way nobody gets hurt.
Hey, Gid?
Who's that?
It's Krove. I heard Morrow call you Gib once, and I thought that was like chilled. Can I?
Yeah, no, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Gideon like opens the door a crack because like Morrow and Brian are like half naked in the bathroom, so Gideon opens a little crack.
Y'all need some time?
No, nothing horny.
Y'all need some party favors?
Maybe later. What can I do for you right now?
Oh, something's terribly wrong out there.
Oh my god. I rush out of the bathroom. What's going on?
Rush out of the bathroom and your Simpack starts ringing.
Who's calling? Does it say?
It does. Nakia's calling.
I frantically...
Because I owe everyone a chaos event.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I answer the phone. Nakia? Are you okay?
Hell yeah, I'm okay.
Cool. What? It's nice to hear from you. What's been going on? Are you? I'm coming to see you right now. We're on our way.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I think it's time that you and I talked.
Yeah, Nakia, we can talk about whatever you want. What's going on?
Wait, when you said we're on the way, who is we?
We have a ship of people coming to Mirai City right now. It's
And who's on that ship?
Winona, Chade, Crovalone, a member of the Legion Corps, Maro, and Brian.
So you're still hanging out with her?
Is this what you want to talk about first after not hearing from you? I've been worried sick. Are you okay? Well, I guess you said you are.
I was just worried sick about you because I knew all this time while I was gone without you, you were still probably hanging out with a confirmed murderer. So just the amount of concern that I felt knowing that you, day in, day out, were just like hanging out with someone who did like actively try to murder a friend of mine. Yeah, so I guess like, oh my god, samesies. I guess we've been just in like doing the same thing.
You mean your friend that was also going to murder my friend? We can do this back and forth all day, Nakia.
I'm
you
sorry.
came from an assassin's guild.
I'm sorry. Ula was one of your friends.
Ula's a friend of mine now, and Ula also helped bring Emeloth back to life. The
That's not the
apples
part
and
I'm-
pears,
that's
babe.
not the part I'm
What's
talking
going
about.
on? What?
What happened
Nakia,
after the
what is-
murder doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to me in the fact that, I don't know, it's changed my life irreparably. But no, I think I want to settle things is I think what I want to do.
What is settle things with who? What do you need to settle? Are you safe?
Yeah, I'm like safer than I've ever been.
What are we settling, Nakia?
Yeah, I think I'd like to duel for Emeloth's honor.
Duel who?
Your weird girlfriend or a champion of hers? I'll take whatever you want.
She's not my girlfriend. In fact, she's sort of, not really, but sort of Ystira's, so that's something you can unpack with her later.
No fucking way.
You go ahead and talk to them about that. I don't know what's going on with them, but I think you'd be foolish to think that Ystira wouldn't care about this. And Emeloth's honor is none of my concern. I am worried about you and the Hawkmon Gress members that are captured apparently with you right now.
Oh, they're fine.
They're fine. So their Sympax is broken, haven't heard from friends or family members, no will of their own to go where they want to, I assume means they're fine.
Oh my god, you don't even get it. They're just being held for a small ritual, and I'm sure they'll be fine when it's over.
A small ritual?
Yeah. A small ritual.
What? Doing what? Willingly? What? Hey, bud, I'm gonna hold you unwillingly for a ritual. Don't worry about it. How does that sound to you? Who are you? Just a above game question. Do I know she's with our mom? I think I've already heard that, right?
The vibe's pretty clear.
What are you doing with her? If you care so much about who killed who, our mom killed Misha, and I didn't have someone to bring them back after. What are you doing with her, Nakia?
Listen, I talked to her about that, and it was a pretty, I'm not saying it was justified, but I understand why she did it.
Oh, you two talked and you worked it out and you understand?
Yes. And so you can come to where I'm at and I can duel Brine and you can talk to mom and everything will be fine.
That is never going to be fine with me, Nakia.
Why not?
Because I loved them and they're dead. I didn't even have a body to bring back.
And our mom is alive. This is like a real chance at like being part of a family.
I don't want to be a family with her. What are you talking about? Nakia, what has she said to you over the past...
I mean,
She
we have
left
a
us.
sister.
She left us, Nakia. She left me and she left you. And now that we're useful to her, she's suddenly back. You don't see that that's happening?
I mean, yeah, I'm useful now. I'm. That's what I've been waiting my whole life for.
Nakia, family isn't people who are just there when you're useful. That's not family, that's using somebody.
I just think if you were here, you would like understand what I was talking about. You just don't get it right now because you're not here.
I'm coming right now, Nakia, because I'm worried about you. And no matter what you do to me, I will still be your family no matter what. That's the difference between her and me.
Okay,
We're on our way. We should be there in apparently
I'm
2
not
days'
in
time.
New York City.
You're not. Where are you?
My
was a whole...
mom built like this whole town, or at least renovated it right across from the channel. I mean, I can see Marriage City from across the lake. I'm in Cairn Coast Village.
Cairn Coast Village? Okay. Then that's where we're going, because I was only going to Mirage City because I thought you were there.
Well, I'm not.
All right, well then I'm going where you are.
Okay, so you can just like get here and you can talk to mom and like you'll get it and things are going to be fine. And I'm going to beat the shit out of Brian and things will be great.
Nakia, I'm not promising anything with our mom, but I just want you to be okay.
I know, and like Gid, I was in the same position as you. I like wanted to kick her ass, but she like sat me down and she explained everything to me, and I get it now.
So I should forgive the person who killed someone I love, but you have to fight Brian, who was trying to stop Emeloff from killing someone, and then Emeloff was brought back to life. But I should be understanding.
I think if you want to duel mom, like that would be fair. I don't think she'd kill you, and I think she'd kick your ass. I think if you wanted to duel mom, that would like be pretty reasonable.
I'm not entertaining that. I'm not entertaining that.
Nikia's teen logic is not very sound sometimes.
No.
Cool. So then you'll come and I'll tell mom to fly back and you can meet my dad and
The one who put that thing that made you cursed and pass out, him? He's there too?
yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Hey, bud?
Yeah, pal?
That's not like a unique to me thing.
Interesting. I
It
appreciate
would
the heads
seem
up.
that me and all of my siblings have that.
Terrifying. And these are the people you say you feel safe with, Nakia?
Well, they explain. It turns out that it's actually to protect us from ourselves and this power that they've been playing this the whole time. Kid, they know what they're doing.
Just because they know what they're doing doesn't mean it's right or good for you, okay? Listen, I know it feels really good to have mom and dad, your dad, there together, but Listen, Nakia, I love you and I want what's best for you. And I don't know if these people do. And I I can't make you do anything. Okay, I can just.
Okay, so then like get there and like get here, and then you'll be here too, and it'll kind of be like we're on even ground.
Wait, you said siblings. You said siblings, multiple siblings. You said multiple siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry. Is that? Does your dad have other kids? Or? Oh, that's cool news. That's legitimately cool news. Not like this.
So like another fun little like update is I found out that I am technically a middle child.
That little one. At the temple.
Yeah, she's like, and then you can hear Nakia kind of get like closer to like the microphone of the Simpex and be like, she's kind of like weirdly intense.
How old is she?
Not old at all. She's like a fucking kid. And I thought that I kind of had like my I'm like a quarter flux at most, right? Like I don't, but she's like, she's weird. She's got like a whole like flux thing going on to her.
Okay. Terrifying.
Yeah. And so I just kind of want the sibling that I'm not sort of intrinsically terrified by to come by.
I will be there. I'm going to make sure you're safe. I'm getting the 30 members out of there.
You'll be there through the ceremony. You can help me convince mom and dad to kind of like release them afterwards, you know, and then we can just kind of negotiate an alliance from there. And, you know, if we want to kind of go through on killing Sampira, she's here and we can kind of handle that.
That would actually be fantastic. Okay. No promises on other stuff, but I'm making sure you're safe. Hawkmon Gress members are safe. Our new sibling is safe, creepy or not. And everything with mom is up in the air. No promises. And I will swallow my anger and we will go from there. And no killing Brian. Okay, great.
And again, like, I think that if you did want to dual mom, that would, like, she would get it.
Okay, thank you, Nakia. I appreciate that. Okay.
Your outfit sounds bad.
Yeah, well, you sound like you smell weird.
Nakia hangs up.
What the fuck? So
meanwhile, Winona, you've been on the ship. It's a lot smaller than the other one. There's an above deck and a below deck, and the below deck has more of like hammocks. I forgot the word hammock for a second. It has more like hammocks versus like rooms, right? Mm-hmm. So you've been kind of given free reign. You noticed about maybe like half an hour ago, Morrow, Gideon, and Brian go into the bathroom together.
And that's none of my business.
And that's none of your business. So I guess my main question is what have you been doing instead?
Honestly, I think I've just been like being a little fool and like sitting on all of the hammocks to see which one was the sturdiest. You know, kind of like Three Little Bears. Is that the?
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and there's like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah, and it's like okay, and then I find a hammock that I like, and I'm like, you know what? I deserve this, and I kind of just lay back and try to sleep.
Perfect. Yeah. So you lay back. You close your eyes and you get so close to sleep before you hear, Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Winona.
Jade? What's good, Jade?
Chade has come to sit in the hammock opposite you, like a stack of books in his hand, like sitting in his lap, and he's just kind of like rigidly sitting across from you, but like leaned back a little bit in an attempt to like appear cool and leaned back, but clearly still needing to like support his core to lean back that far. So he's just like sitting in a crunch, trying to look cool in front of you. And says, hey.
Hey.
I just figured like, oh man, we've been on the ship for like, you know, we were on the ship for a while, and we didn't really like talk then, and then I figured like, oh, tiny ship, big space to talk.
Yeah.
You know, kind of hang out.
Yeah. What do you want to? Is there? I see you've got a lot of literature there with you. Is there anything you want to talk about? Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about
You okay there?
Yeah, sorry. I just was wondering if maybe your axe is like pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really big, and I think it could do like a lot of murdering if like it came down to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Gotta
I
keep
was
it sharp.
wondering if maybe you could help me find like a weapon that could do that much murdering, and then maybe also teach me how to use it.
Okay. So we've gotta take I want to take a couple steps back. Let's start from the beginning.
In the hammock?
What?
You want me to take a few steps back in the hammock?
No. Actually, you can give me the books. Come here. Give me the books. Thank you. And I'm just gonna like just rest them on the floor. And I'm just gonna like you know you can like relax. Like
Yeah,
it's okay.
relaxed.
No. Put your arms to your sides. Rest them down. Okay, good. Now unfuck your stomach, unclench your stomach. Because I can tell, and that's gonna be very bad for your posture. Okay. Good. Now just like
Okay.
have you ever like laid in a hammock before?
Fell out of one when I was 3.
Okay, well we're gonna have okay. And you want to murder people? Let's lay flat.
I just like if it comes down to it, I want to be able to protect my friends.
Yeah. That's very noble and that's very fair. And honestly, that is the whole reason I'm down here in the first place. Okay. Is there any kind of weapon that you've been thinking about that like, you know, that sparks joy for you?
Yeah. Well, one of the Apotheon sisters did wield a scythe. And so I think that's like the closest to like a religious weapon that one could get.
Okay. Yeah. So I personally do not know where we can find you a scythe, but I can teach
Okay.
you at least how to have control over a weapon that you can swing.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Is this something that you want to do like now? Is this something that you want to do maybe tomorrow? Like,
Yeah, if we can just like get it all in tomorrow, so like I'm ready.
yeah. Okay, I will.
I
You
think
know
we
what?
deserve like a night to like relax and stuff, and Karina taught
too.
me like a bunch of little like apparently like little like weed shanties from the weeds. So
Okay.
if you want to sing any of those together, I just want you to know that I'm here for you.
Would that make you happy, Jade?
No,
Okay, then we don't have to do it.
everyone in the holy choir asks me to sing quiet.
Oh. Oh.
But
Wait.
you know.
Do you like to, do you don't like to sing quiet, do you?
I like to sing quiet if like that's what makes everyone happiest. So, you know,
Question, what time is it on the ship?
it's the sun just set over the horizon, so darkness is just plunged over the ship.
Okay. Okay, Jade, how about this? Because it sounds like you've got a lot of pent up things that I would like you to, we need to work through that before you swing any heavy, deathly, lethal objects. So how about me and you have a little Winona Jade time on the deck at like midnight, where everybody's asleep. Do not worry. It'll be fine.
I've never snuck out before.
Well, we're not really sneaking. Yeah. Let's sneak out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And think of your favorite song and just have it ready.
All right. I'll bring the snacks.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
All right. I mean, it was real nice talking to you.
Yeah. It was nice talking to you, Jade. Now I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, I'll let you get back to your nap. Do you need a pillow?
I'm good.
Okay. Or like a blankie?
I'll take a blankie.
All right. And he opens his little bag of holding and pulls out the rattiest little quilt you've ever seen. He says, "My nan made this for me. It'll keep you super warm. It's magic."
Okay. That was the sweetest thing ever. Okay. I will protect this. Thank you. You are very sweet.
You do. All right. I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right. And then he just kind of scattles off. Just meanwhile, Brian, after you hear the bad news from Crovalone and then witness Gideon immediately take a phone call, what are you up to?
So I think she's kind of experimenting with the eye of the planeswalker and trying to see if what she can like if she can attempt to focus on like her actual surroundings with it if she concentrates. Unsuccessful. And then I think she's honestly listening to Gideon's side of the conversation with Nakia.
Okay.
So when it gets to the you won't kill Brian part, she sits up a little taller.
Yeah, I make no attempt at being quiet, so I think it's fair to say Brian hears everything easily if Brian
She
listens
says,
to
"Who
him.
wants to kill me now? What happened?
Yeah,
Who's this?"
and you see Morrow just kind of also like increasingly looking concerned, and then Gideon, Nakia hangs up on you, and there's kind of this long moment of silence. Are you the one to interrupt it?
Yeah, I think Gideon just sort of like... I think like Gideon was so pissed off at Nakia on that phone call, but could not be as pissed off as she wanted without knowing she was going to like end the call sooner than she wanted. So I think she's sort of sitting in the anger for a second, then she turns around and goes, "They're not in Muriel City. They're in a town across from the channel called whatever it's called. I forgot because I was so panicked.
Cairn Coast.
They're in Cairn Coast with my mom, Nakia's dad, Sinpira's around. I'm just catching you up on the big parts. Brian, she wants to duel you for Emeloth's honor.
Emeloth
I couldn't
is
care
alive.
less.
Ula
That's what I said.
Life.
That's what I said. And I'm supposed to get over our mom killing Misha, but Emeloth dies once, and now it's a big deal.
Gideon, have you considered that Nakia is wrong?
Yes, that's what I told her on the phone call. I'm sure you heard my half of it.
I did. I was a little distracted by the "you're not going to kill Brian" part, I must admit. Which,
She's just,
if we're being honest, I'd like to see a try.
She's allowed to say the most heinous stuff to me. Like, oh, I get why they killed Misha, and you'll totally understand. But if I treat her the same way, she would lose it. So I have to be the bigger person. And it's infuriating, because if I snapped at her in that phone call, I have another sibling, by the way, surprise. And when there's a ritual they're doing with the Hawkmont Crest members, and they said it's no big deal. Well, obviously that's not happening. So we're going to get them the fuck out of there. We're taking Nakia whether she wants to come or not, because she has some very bad self-worth issues. We'll unpack that later. But they're not in Mirage City.
Yeah, Yustira's told me about those.
Yes, it's incredibly depressing to hear. It curbs some of the anger. I don't know where to.
So
I don't know
is
how to
the
help her.
plan to go? We're supposed to. Okay, wait. What is the plan then, Gideon? Because we still have to go to Mirage City.
Well, I thought we were going to Mirage City for them. So if they're not in Mirage City,
We are, but we're also going to find Ystira,
right?
who,
I
if you'll
think-
recall, is with Valpini, who might be trying to use her body to resurrect a god.
Right.
And by might, I
could-
mean is definitely doing that. That's definitely happening. And Provolone says the only way for that to not happen is for us to break the prophecy. And the only way to break the prophecy is, oh, well, it depends on the prophecy.
We can't split up again, so maybe we can just get Ystira out of there as fast as possible and then cross the river to... to my mom's weird
Is there
town.
a way to bring...
And I love, friends, I love the collaborative energy that I am seeing right now. I did, however, also alert you to a very bad happenstance that is happening on deck.
Oh my god. So I'm so sorry. And I go to run on deck.
Imagine remembering anything.
I got so distracted with a phone call.
So did I. Sorry.
And as you like, sorry, were you saying, what are you doing? So yeah, you guys hustle out. You're gonna pass Winona in the hammock. Do you say anything?
Did you hear that up top? Whatever's happening?
Winona is asleep.
Brian's going to wake Winona.
What? Jade? What?
Shade. No, it's Brian. There's something
Oh.
happening up on deck.
Okay. Shit. Fuck. All right. I guess I'm okay. Sorry.
Grab your
I
axe,
just got
let's go.
Okay, give me a second. I just woke up. And I'm gonna go with them.
As you're at, you kind of hustle out and you begin walking up the stairs. And I guess, so at this point, Crovalone says, so like, I'm not like the Hawkmongerous type who goes out a lot. I am a more of a homebody, if so you'd say. How like common would you say are blinking lights on the horizon?
What color are they?
Well, it got like weirdly supremely dark when the sun set. And by supremely dark, I kind of mean like pitch black. You crest up to the top and see that it's pitch black on the ship. Just looking out, it looks like you're sailing in nothing. And there's like a brief pause. And then you see two sets of purple lights. Just blink. Two over there. Two over there. All around.
Those
Would
are
I know
eyes,
anything
right?
about this?
Oh,
Sorry. Can I roll like a history check?
You can roll an Arcana check if you'd like.
That's at 19.
A 19? Okay. You? Brine? This kind of magic. Why? She's unmistakable. And she's come too close to killing you too many times.
There was a flux. That's flux magic. We're surrounded by it. We are in incredible fucking danger.
We're in total darkness? Like pitch black darkness?
Up until you see just flicks of lights occasionally.
Can we tell that they know where our position is?
Can't.
Okay.
If you bring some light to the situation, though, you might be able to learn more about your situation, or you can just immediately attempt evasive maneuvers.
Yeah. I was trying to see if I can tell if they've surrounded us, if that means they know where we are, but...
Can I use my green flame blade as a light source? Like, could I cast that on one of my daggers and use it as like a little torch?
Great question. What's the range on that?
Range is self, 5 foot radius.
Yeah, you can suddenly see 5 feet around you, which is nice, but you can't see off the bow of the ship towards what's going on.
Okay, it's better than nothing though. I'm gonna go ahead and cast green flame blade on one of my daggers, on the one that Gideon handed me in the bathroom, and just basically use it like a lantern. And I think I'm gonna. Winona?
yeah.
Can you find my hand in the dock?
Yeah, can I actually use dark vision? Will dark vision work here?
Or is it magical darkness? It will. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian's gonna wait for Winona to take her hand.
Okay, so I find your hand and I take it.
And then
Who has dark vision?
I do.
Brian doesn't have it because Brian's not using her correct eyes for it.
I don't have it as a halfling anyway.
Oh, weird. I thought halflings did. Gid, do tieflings got dark vision?
I have a spell called Daylight I was going to cast, but I don't have the little spell description on here. So oh, yes, I do. A 60-foot radius sphere of light spreads out from a point you choose within range. The sphere is a bright light that sheds dim light for an additional 60 feet. If you choose a point on an object you're holding or one that isn't being worn or carried, the light shines from the object and moves with it, completely covering the object or whatever. Okay.
Oh, well, I think I would like to see both of these things happen, and so I will describe them in tandem. First and foremost, Gideon, tell me what casting this spell looks like for Gideon.
I think it looks like Gideon has, like, it starts out with, like, a little light shining in their closed hand, and then they open their palm, and it looks like a little sun is inside of their palm. And I imagine they, like, flick it outward and it gets bigger as it goes to wherever we want it to shine from, as this little burning ball of fire. And at the core of it, I imagine it looks like a little comet, this like oily, slick black core that the light is around.
That's so sick. So what happens is, Winona, you hear Brine ask for your hand. But it's like you barely hear it because it's already down so far on your to-do list, because looking around, you realize that Morrow and Lildrir are staring in horror at the same things. You can now look beyond the bow of the ship and see 1, 2, 3 colossals. Converging in slowly on your ship. And then you watch Gideon hold her hand out, a sun burning inside of it, and light the sky. So that suddenly you can see the colossals' faces, one a void and a mass of teeth, the other brimming with fire, magma dripping from its mouth as if it's salivated, looking at its next meal. And then the third one, this ephemeral, undead thing of twisted beauty, like a bride who's died the night before her wedding. Sunken cheeks, sunken eyes, a jaw that's ready to unhinge fully, with a mouth and a smile that goes all the way up to her ears, hundreds of feet tall. Gideon, this is what you illuminate. Ryan, correct me in saying that you see none of this, correct?
Yeah, I think depending on how people react, she'll move her. No, she's not going to move her patch because she doesn't want Cynthia to know what's going on.
Mara did make it clear that she was making no attempt to hide anything because she didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, I think depending on how she hears people react to what they're seeing is what will determine like her doing that. But I think she does ultimately decide that she's going to move the patch back over so she can see what's happening.
Perfect. Then Winona, how do you react?
Dangerous.
I fucking scream.
Gideon, how do you react?
Who's piloting the ship?
Lildrir.
Lildrir, get us out of here. I think Gideon just yells, like, we can't fight these things. I just am trying to get us the fuck away from them.
Fine, you hear a scream of horror come from Winona, and then Gideon immediately begin calling for evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, I'm going to move my eye patch over. And then I think... Question, actually. Does my back wound hurt when I come into like close contact with these creatures, or is it only if I make eye contact with them?
Have you made eye contact with them?
Not yet.
You wouldn't know?
Okay, great. I think she's going to move the eye patch over, and then she's going to look around, and I think she does make eye contact with one of them.
Yeah, you feel a chill begin clawing at your scar.
I think Brian just whispers, "Oh, fuck." And then, like, starts hollering with Gideon for Loldru to get them out of there.
Current. Now, you had a lovely but slightly awkward breakfast with your parent this morning. Of course, that was with Ula, and it was, you lived through it. And I think that's probably as good as you were going to get. Of course, Ula got introduced to the head of the Legion Corps, right? Those are going to be the two people who kept the country safest, if you will, in their absence. But after that breakfast, Monarch pulled you aside and says, all right, so the heart swell is at midnight. That will be our only opportunity to get inside of the core, the heart. It is custom to spend from fast breaking until that time in a solitary and quiet meditation. Are you ready to do this?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I've selected a room for you to do this. It's just a simple room. In the palace, there is a waterfall that has always reminded me of your mother. If you reach your hand into the waterfall and think of any materials you will need for this adventure, it will appear. So arm yourself as needed, and prepare your mind.
Monarch,
Yes.
is there anything I can do for you? I mean, I know I don't know much about what's going to happen. I've obviously never been into the heart since I was brought back as a baby, but is there anything I can do for you?
Steal your heart. Steal your mind. And be ready to give yourself the gift and the opportunity of being who you want to be. And that person is someone who gets this done.
I understand. And I think
I have
Kern,
unending faith in you.
I think tears start coming up in Kern's eyes. Just so different. I mean, I had what I thought was family back in Kurthis. This is so different. I want you to know that whatever happens, I don't regret a single moment of this.
You know, I've been a lot of things. A god, a ruler, a tyrant, a diamond, an edict, an orphan. The only thing I've ever truly loved being was a parent to you.
Kern's going to reach out their hand and say, for what it's worth, Monarch, it could have been anybody, and I'm glad it was you. I'm glad you're my parent.
Was never going to be anybody current. It was always going to be you. As far as I know, you are the only child of a god.
God or no God, happy it was you.
I'm happy I got the opportunity to be your parent as well.
Whatever happens next, we do it together.
Absolutely. But you must go steal your mind.
Only gonna need some practice, but I think I'll get the hang of it.
If you cannot conquer being alone in a room with yourself for that amount of time, you cannot conquer any foe. The first battlefield is in the mind.
I'll hold you and the others that I love so much close to me, and it'll give me strength.
Your relationship with your power is so humble. I hope you keep that.
Best.
All right, be gone with you. We are already breaking the tradition.
I don't have to tell anybody, right? All right. Be going now. Thanks,
You
Monarch.
best be going. And yes, we do hold ourselves as accountable to our honors and traditions and laws as we do our citizens. Current, be gone with you.
Kern kind of straightens themselves out and wipes the tears and gives a smile and heads off.
Perfect. Yeah. So an attendant leads you to this beautiful. It's like a magic room, because once you step inside, it doesn't look like a room. It just looks like a nice little desert oasis that has this beautiful waterfall, these palm trees, all of this beautiful greenery, stark in contrast with these sunny yellows of the desert. It's very idyllic. So you know that if you reach your hand in this waterfall and you ask for something, you are going to get it. I don't want to devalue how important that is. So that's pretty important. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put us on our 5-minute break now. Let you panic about that for a few minutes, maybe pray to your players for some extra assistance. And then when we come back from the break, we can find out what you're pulling from the waterfall and what it looks like heading into the heart. All right, see you soon, Godslayers. Stick around for a dice giveaway. Well, hello. Welcome back to my chamber of pain. Ah, yes, my pain chamber. Ah, you've come to another finale, hoping to let your heart remain intact. And yet, a fool. For the last time this has happened, I shattered all of them.
Jigsaw, give us back Katie May. I want Katie May back, Jigsaw.
Amanda was like, yeah, I'll handle the logistics coming back. And I was like, cool, so I only have to do the weird shit. I think this is my Hail Mary of ask your questions, state your concerns, beg for mercy. These are your... We're gonna hop back in. We're actually gonna pick up. I've heard some mad dash scrambling while I was on my nice little break, enjoying my life. I heard some scrambling about some items that you are all working on. I think we should pick back up there. Lyrica, you've had this time. Obviously, Current's been the one who's been meditating or living with her own brain, my nightmare, in this room. Tell me how that's going.
I think there's definitely a struggle at first for Current to kind of silence all of the brain static that's usually going up in there all the time. And they're not alone very often, I think. And I think that's kind of like a not a consciously done thing, but a subconsciously done thing, that they're almost never alone. But then I think they started, we say there's a waterfall in the room, but the rest of the room is also the same kind of.
It's like a desert. It's like a little like oasis.
Okay. I think, yeah, like maybe if there's sand, like Current starts by kind of like just using her finger, kind of drawing shapes in the sand. And then comes to sit down and start meditating by the waterfall.
Okay. You begin to meditate by the waterfall. So go ahead and roll a Constitution check.
There you go. See, my dice pool is empty. Constitution, right?
Yes.
It's not letting me roll. Here we go. Still not rolling. I may have to refresh.
Okay.
Multiverse, sorry.
You're so
I can
good.
roll for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
What is your
you.
what's your sorry, was it a Constitution save or just a Constitution check? Save? What's your mod?
I think it was a check.
Just a check?
My mod is +5.
That's 5. I rolled you a nat 1. Can I use my Hobbit luck for another player? Is that allowed?
Holy shit.
Is that allowed?
No.
Nick, I'm so sorry I didn't roll for you.
Can I I'll use
You have your
I
inspiration
have to do
pool?
inspiration.
Don't let me do it again. Ask Molly.
I'll use one of my inspiration.
Okay. Beautiful.
All right. Now
What was
Molly's
your
rolling.
modifier?
+5.
+5. Okay. Jesus, with a +5. How did you fuck that up? All right. No whammies. Oh, a 3 from me, but it's better than a 1.
It's better than a 1.
So the bar was low and I tripped over it, but I did technically go over it. So sorry.
Wow. So Current, how well did you do in your childhood when silent prayer was happening for a really long time?
Oh, it took maybe 0.2 seconds for Current's mind to zoom to completely somewhere else.
Yeah, and you're having that same problem here. I think the question is what I want to know is, where does your mind wander?
I think in that moment it hits Current that they've truly separated from the rest of the crew, from the rest of the team. And the worry sets in. And it's hard to kind of focus on anything other than, are my friends okay? Are they safe? Am I going to see them again? If I can beg for mercy, I do have kind of an idea.
I'm listening.
If there's any kind of role I can do to do this, but I think maybe Current starts remembering the words that Monarch had said to them about needing to be able to quiet the mind and sit in that place. And so instead of trying to silence all of that noise and just be like, how to just be silent, I think maybe Current opens their eyes and looks at the water and remembers their mom and tries to focus on like their mom and the idea of a river and that like the peaceful flow of a river to try to reel themselves back in if they can.
Yes. I will say I was going to give, based on the results of this roll, if you had done poorly, maybe permanently, you were going to take a negative modifier going into this temple. And I will say, like, using that kind of steel yourself, you have avoided this fate of taking a negative modifier. You also don't get the nice plus the bonus if maybe your friends had done a nice thing for you. But at least a bad thing hasn't happened to you.
Take that.
And so during this time that you are now by yourself, are you pulling anything from the waterfall?
Yes. I think Current goes over to the water and kind of like runs their fingers through it. And then pushes both hands into the water, kind of like all the way in, kind of like how their hands were first like kind of plunged into the fountain at Doxon's temple. And I think the first thing that Current asks for is something to fortify their mind, because they're remembering of what was said to them about Monarch's parents and what happened to them in the core.
Sorry, my headphones cut out for a sec. What was the last? What is your first item?
I was asking, Current asks for something to fortify minds or to fortify their mind, because they're worried about the incident with Monarch's parents and how the core changed them.
Right. Okay. You ask for something to fortify your mind. You reach in and you pull out this locket. It looks like it does have a hinge on it.
I open it.
Great. It is a diamond-shaped locket that, when unfolds on each of the sides, right? So for as many sides as a diamond has, this kind of unfolds into sort of one flat triangular pattern, right? And in one of each of the sides of these triangles are pictures.
Do I recognize any of the pictures?
Yes, you do. There is a picture of Monarch. There is a picture of your mother. There is a picture of Winona, of Gideon, of Brine, of Ula. Is there anyone else here in this locket?
This might sound, I think this maybe is a picture that Current wasn't expecting to see on there. But it's there. And it's their adopted father. And they kind of feel a certain way about that. Like they don't know why it would be there with everybody else, but it's there. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because, like, if you hold the locket just like a little bit away, it kind of like that image in particular kind of fades from view. And then as you bring it back closer, kind of reappears. And you notice that there are two other images that do that. But these ones, they're much more like severe in the way that they die off if you hold it away. Like much more. And of course, this means that you recognize a final little portrait amongst this diamond. The first portrait that is fading away very quickly if you pull the locket away from your eyes is your mother's, Rivers. And the second one is Misha Osirov's.
I think Current kind of runs a finger over the pictures of everyone and then sees Misha's and stops and spends a while kind of bringing it in, putting it back out, bringing it in, kind of like trying to get to them some way. Like this is the most that they've seen, you know, of Misha since they were gone. And immediately puts it around their neck.
Perfect. You now have this object on you.
And is there like a limit of how many items that I can pull out of here?
Perceivedly not.
Okay. So I think that Current kind of composes themselves, and then the next thing they ask for is a short sword. Kind of short sword.
Oh, that pops out real quick. It's got a iridescent blade to it. It looks like a rainbow in the light.
Ooh.
Like the locket took a sec. This one just, she comes right out.
Current kind of goes, oh, that's so cool. They'd never let me have one of these back on. And then I think that Current's going to ask for like a basic like healing potion or healing item.
Yeah, 3. You can have 2 healing potions.
Okay. And then there's 2 more. Current wanted some like a light armor that if it could like have some sort of like magical attribution to it, like a resistance or I already have my elven boots, so I don't need to be quiet.
Yeah, so you pull out this this armor set, and you're pretty familiar with the Legion Corps' like outfit, and it looks a lot like first and foremost, shout out to Astrolago Press, as this item is from Astrolago Press, one of my favorite homebrew creators of all time. We're not sponsored by them, but if you're looking for some incredible homebrew content, please check out Astrolago Press. You pulled out this plate, and it's a heavy looking armor, but it feels impossibly light, and it does reminisce of the like Legion Corps uniforms, but there's motifs painted all over this armor. It is it's a cloud-filled blue sky. This armor has a blue tint to it. This beautiful like cloudy like epaulets on the shoulders, and then this beautiful sun emblazoned across the chest. And the sun is showing off this radiant smile. This armor, once you touch it, you seem to know it intimately. You know this to be the Dawn Plate. It's almost as if this is given its information to you. You know this to be the Dawn Plate. This is a legendary piece of armor that's been around since the Legion Corps was founded. So you're going to get a +1 bonus to your AC. You shed 30 feet of bright light while this property is oh no, sorry, I have to do this part first. So as an action, you can draw from a memory of joy, confidence, or communion. And when you do, you're going to gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 3 times your level. If a creature hits you, the first time a creature hits you with a melee attack while you have these hit points, the creature takes radiant damage equal to 3 times your level. While this property is active, you shed 33 feet of bright light all around you. Once the temporary hit points are gone, the light shrinks to 15 feet, persisting for an additional 10 minutes before going out entirely. And once you have used this property, it cannot be used again until you complete a long rest.
Okay.
So now you have the Dawn Plate.
Once per long rest. So I think Current like takes it and sets it aside. And the last thing they're going to ask for is a way to find Monarch if they're separated.
A way to find Monarch if you're separated. You reach in and you pull out a simple looking compass.
Does it have any sort of like special markings on it, or does it seem to just be acting like a normal?
No, it's
compass?
suspiciously simple.
Okay. Are there dials on it?
It's got the 2 pointers on it.
Uh-huh.
The 2 direction markers is, I think, maybe the adult word, or maybe a man might have used there. Just kidding, men don't use good words. But yes. So but no dials. You find out.
Okay. And like there's no if I could turn it around, there's no engravings or anything on it that would.
No, it's weird how plain this thing looks.
Okay. I think Current will kind of open their little bag of holding that they have and put that in there. And then yeah, that's what Current asks for.
Perfect. Great. And then is there anything else you do before obviously midnight hits and you embark on this?
I think Current sits by the water for a little while, and not in like not prayer, but like has kind of like this conversation with themselves, but to River, kind of like a, you know, we're gonna do our absolute best, even if I never get to meet you, I still love you. And even though they don't have no idea if their parent can hear them, just to ask them to keep Monarch and themselves safe as they take this journey.
That's beautiful. You feel this imaginary heat from the oasis just pour over you. Just this warmth. Feels like a comforting hug. Something about it steels you for the journey to come. All right. We move now to a flying ship where nothing's going wrong. Lil Jer shouts back at you, Gideon. What direction?
Where are the colossals positioned in relation to us?
There's one at your 12, there's one at your 4, and there's one at your 7. No, there's one at your
12,
9.
4. So they're like kind of like in front of us, like in a
No,
cone?
one very in front, and then 2 kind of flanking the diagonal sides. It's like it's in a peace sign formation.
Okay.
1,
I think getting
2,
to seals
3.
turn us around, because that's like the only way is back, right? They're like
No,
kind
there's
of.
2 behind you.
Oh fuck. Diagonal, maybe like to the left between.
Yeah, you're looking
These
around
2.
and realizing that like this is a triangle, and no matter like it's Red Rover, they're holding hands. You know, it's a little like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to try to get through it, and that to you speaks of a grim intentionality.
Yeah, I think we'll just try and go left and up. Pick 2 of the 3 since we have no option other than to like choose which 2 we want to get sandwiched between.
Left and up, got it.
Yeah.
Are Winona and Brine and Gideon, are you doing anything in this moment to increase your chances of survival?
Yes. I would like to, once again, as we saw in the Lucev combat, cast Starfall, where I have stars fall from the sky, and I just want to try and, like, if one is, like, reaching out to us, I'd like to try and hit its hand or something, like, anything to stop them from, like, reaching out to grab us. I know I can't, like, kill them, but if I can, like, stun them or, like, put magic between us and them, I would like to do that. Oh no. Why can't I hear you?
Because I'm muted. That would be why. Is this the Monarch's Meteor?
No, it's Starfall. I'll do a little
Starfall.
summon
Gotcha.
chat.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
that
you.
just is a lot of HTML. Whoopsie.
Oh, great. I love yum, 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 yum.
I can read it to you.
Sure.
You cause bolts of shimmering starlight to fall from the heavens, striking up to 5 targets within 60 feet of you and in your sight. Each bolt strikes one creature, doing 6d6 radiant damage, knocking the target prone and blinding it until the start of your next turn, which I don't think that would happen to a Colossal. So we could just say it's damage. Blah, blah, blah. If there are any fewer than 5 targets, the excess bolts strike the ground harmlessly. They would make a dexterity saving throw, but I don't know if we're doing like combat like stuff right now, so we can ignore that if you'd like.
No.
They do
No,
like half damage if they save a dexterity saving throw.
Basically, what this is going to do, what you telling me you're doing to increase your chances of survival, is it's going to raise the attack AC of the Colossal attacking the ship. So I do think that steadily does raise it some. Brian and Winona, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna go ahead, Winona.
You go.
Oh my god. Okay. I have Spirit Shield, but I don't know if I can use it now because I think I have to be raging for it to work.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know what I can do.
Brian's just gonna grab onto the railing
Yeah.
and hold on for dear life.
Then can I get a dexterity saving throw from you?
From just Brian or both of us?
Are you
No.
doing? Are you also just holding on?
17.
Yeah, I do think I'm gonna brace myself.
And yeah, I'd love a check as well.
Okay. I have something that gives me advantage on checks. I don't know what it is. I know it's there and I just read it, but you know, I'm just gonna roll. Dexterity. A 10.
Whoa! And yours was what, a 17? Yeah? All right. Gid, can I get one from you as well?
Yes. I'm gonna use inspiration because I can't fuck up. I'm trying to do magic so we don't die.
Fucking up is not on the menu. I will remove one of your dice from the pool.
Remove 2 actually.
Oh no.
Okay, the best of those was an 8. So
Oh.
why do I only roll well for Brian? Not me.
Because Gideon loves Brian and wants Brian to not die.
It's true.
Oh my god.
Is someone
Yeah,
big and
so-
sexy gonna come save me so I can cast magic to keep us alive?
No, Brian's holding onto the railing.
Where the hell's Morrow?
I said big and sexy, not small and sexy.
All right. Morrow is not adding anything particularly useful.
Let me see. Let's see what
All
I
right.
can have.
Let's look at this. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Brian.
Kita just like ascended. Oh no.
you watch as Lildrir swerves up and to the left. The first hand of this colossal comes crashing down. And you watch Gideon send this hurtling star at it to bat this hand out of the way. Gideon's just one girl. And these colossals have so many hands. And you watch as the lava dripping hand of the fiery colossal slams into the sails of the airship, sending rain of lava and splinters down onto the deck. And it's just enough to knock Winona right off the edge. She is now hurtling to the ground. Gideon, what was your highest roll?
An 8.
And you watch in horror as Gideon goes too, and Morrow hurls herself off the edge after her. You see that Chade is crying, standing next to the mast of the ship, where Lildrir is using as much magic as she can to mend a portion, but that was dripping lava. Fire's a problem now, too.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
If Brian gets worked up enough, would it potentially awaken whatever dormant flux magic is inside of her? And
Do
or
you
would she
open that
be able
door?
to pull something with her eye?
First one's a better avenue for you.
Yeah, so she's
I just
gonna
need you to look me in the eyes and tell me you open that door.
If I can save my friends, I will open that door.
I have chicken wing sneakers.
Sheeta has chicken wing sneakers.
And I've had Featherfall since season 1.
Brian doesn't know that though.
No, she
Let me
doesn't.
use it.
But she's not going to remember that. She saw you catapult over the side of the ship.
That makes
Brian's
sense.
gonna, honestly, I think my first instinct with this, I think Brian honestly still holding on to the railing just because she's like trying to like keep her bearings, screams at the top of her lungs, "No, take me."
I get a wisdom saving throw from you.
Yes, you can. A little wisdom saving throw. That's a 19.
I think you were just muted, KM.
Sorry. What way out of this can Brian see?
I don't know that she's clear-headed enough to see a way out, but I think if she had a second to collect herself, she would see like some sort of magical force like whipping out from her chest to grab Winona, Gideon, and Morrow as well, and like hold them aloft while the ship like clears the colossals in some way, which I think could potentially mean like crashing into the woods underneath them because it's literally on fire. And I don't think that she would know what to do about that part. But like in her mind's eye, I think she just is like, let me save them. And I think that in this particular moment, like, because she has been such a particular target of flux magic since this all started, since before this all started, her hope is that offering herself could allow for like a reversal or like a replacement kind of thing.
You are gripping the rail of the ship. Nails digging into it so hard that those nail marks will be there forever. The ship lurches again as a second hand comes crashing down and knocks off the entire back half of the ship. Nope, sorry, that's where the mast is. I know how ships work. The entire front half of the ship.
I don't know how ships work, so I was going to go with it.
Great, perfect. Splintering wood. You watch as the mechanical runemancy features that hold the ship aloft begin tumbling toward the wild's floor. And this jolt, while Brian, it's a lot, this piece of debris scrapes past your face and just dislodges this eye patch just enough to let a little bit of light in. Then will Brian. A little bit of light. Well, that's all you need to see. This glimmering force being perceived in a plane just scraping next to yours. This being up in the clouds with you. This near incorporeal form. All you see is their grinning mouth. And that grinning mouth says,
"Did I hear you needed my help?" I feel you aching for it. Just say thank you, and I'll take care of everything.
Does Brian know who's speaking?
I wish there were like intuition checks in D&D.
I mean, do you want me to roll like
I guess an insight check would
Can you
work.
roll an insight check? Okay. I'm so scared. That's a 6.
You have no fucking idea who this is. This is
gonna
just
say-
this is just Teeth.
She says thank
Teeth
you.
lives in front of you. How are you supposed to fucking know who this is?
She says it.
Am I allowed to donate one of my inspirations or no?
I'll take it if
These
you...
are non-transferable inspirations. You could take the last one from the group pool, though.
Is that okay with the squad if we do that? Okay, great. I'll do another
Yeah.
insight roll then.
Keep
God, I
rolling their
hope it's
eyes.
worth it. I hope it's a good roll, y'all. Okay, a 15.
You promised yourself that after meter, you would pick up on power when it was in front of you. You are not going to fuck it up this time. Here's your chance not to fuck it up.
Do I know who it is? She shouts it. Thank you.
Gideon. You had been pitched off the side of the fucking ship. What are your first thoughts as you start falling?
Fuck! I think Gideon's just trying to fuck! Orient where the ship is to try and cast more magic to stop the colossals.
Yeah, you're flipping
just
around and trying
panicking.
to see where you're at. And you turn to see Winona. You have just been pitched off the side of a ship. What is your first reaction?
I'm also flipping the fuck out, and then I feel like just at the right moment. I don't know if there's a right moment when you're careening off of a ship, but I remember I have little wings on my sneakers, and maybe I don't know with the force of how fast or far I'm dropping, if I can stop myself from falling and hopefully catch.
Yeah, you got magic
Gideon.
flying sneakers. You're done. You're done. It's perfect. Congrats.
Okay, can I grab Gideon?
Yeah, well, you get yourself settled and you look over and you see Gideon. Gideon, you look up from Winona to see Morrow just wings not yet out, just straight up, just hurtling down towards you.
Captain America style?
Just straight up.
Oh, God.
Absolutely, yes. Just soaring into, and then just a little bit harder than I think maybe she meant to, colliding into you and then catching you at the same time. And then you feel that whoosh as she flips her wings out and it catches the air and you guys fly 50 feet back, right? In this searing moment.
This is the most romantic thing to ever happen to me. I think Gideon says as they're holding on to Morrow in the air. Literally,
Just please do not make a habit out of falling off of ships.
sorry.
And it's this brief romantic moment. Winona, you feel this relief as you see Gideon's fine, Gideon's settled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just as you see this, first and foremost, you obviously in the heat of all that, you watch half of the ship plummet to the ground and crash into 1,000 pieces. But then you look up and you see that this falling ship has taken on this fiery, glowing yellow meteoric shape as it, like a shooting star, a falling one even, hurtles to the ground in this beautiful flare. Fine. You feel yourself surrounded by flame and then nothing. Winona and Gideon, is it safe to assume that you approach the ship, or are you doing something else at this time?
Yeah, I gotta make sure Lildrir and Shade
Yeah,
and Brother
everybody
and
else
Brian are
is
okay.
alive.
Freaking lion, bro.
Sounds good. Current. Midnight has come, and an attendant comes and knocks. Which is weird, because you swear a moment ago there was not a door, but suddenly there is a door just right off to the side.
I think Current was kind of fitting the armor on them, trying to figure out how armor gets goes on and stuff like that, and they kind of scramble up and then go to open the door.
Yeah, you go to open the door, and a pleasant little attendant is standing there. And they nod to you because they don't want to break your like silence before your quest. So they nod to you, and then they begin leading you into the center.
I think the last thing that Kern does on the way there is they reach into their bag of holding and pull out the bracelet from Monarch, and also put that on their wrist.
Perfect. Yeah. You are led back into the throne room. And you notice that the throne has been moved like 10 feet to the side. And there is this red glowing entrance where the throne once sat. A spiral staircase leading down below.
Is there anybody else in there with me?
No, this seems to be empty.
I think Kern's going to like look if the attendant was still there, kind of look like approval, and
They give you an encouraging nod.
Walking towards the staircase, kind of looking at it, like not quite going down yet. Kern doesn't know if they're allowed to go down yet. Just kind of looking at it, looking around it, looking at the throne.
The attendant gives you like a nod of approval.
Okay. And I'm gonna take a deep breath and put my hand on the rail and start to go down the staircase.
Perfect. All right, you start heading down. Let's see. Pull to my level. Come on over. Julian, I love an open beta. You can come find our map. It's not letting me pull you. So you begin descending down this staircase, and you can begin to feel the air just thrumming with this magical energy. It feels like a pulse, almost. Aptly named the heart. You descend closer to it. And you reach the bottom of the spiral staircase and see that Monarch is already standing there. And you look around and you're in this larger than life cavern. One with a grand staircase that leads up to this beating crystalline artifact surrounded by runes. In front of this completely sealed portal wall. The only other thing of note in this space, a set of sleeping bags. Obviously left from the last time Monarch was down here. Current, what are your first thoughts as you take this all in?
I think Current is kind of struck by the vastness of it. I didn't quite know what they were going to expect going down there. and it feels very, very powerful, very unfamiliar. And so, like, kind of like a lost child in a way, Ern's eyes immediately start darting to find Monarch, because that's kind of like their anchor down here.
Makes sense. Yeah, Monarch makes eye contact with you and gives you like a grateful nod. I think like they're impressed that you've shown up, that you've gone through with it, that you've been true to your word, and their eyes kind of appraisingly look over your armor. I think that they seem thankful that you've come prepared, that you're taking this seriously.
I'll start to approach Monarch upon making eye contact, and then nervously immediately just saw their approval and was like, I didn't know what to bring. I hope this is okay.
Whatever version of prepared is your version of prepared. That's all that's needed. You can see that Monarch clearly believes that because they look exactly the same as before. Not even a weapon. They think that their body is all they need to be prepared, and that gets to them,
looking
honestly.
at the sword, like, was this too much?
Yeah, you brought you're schlepping like a bag of like potions. You've got like a locket, a bracelet, like an armor set. You were like, you've got a short sword, like all of these like clearly new things, right? Monarch says, I am fairly confident that whatever is in that place would fracture the average mortal's mind.
I think the first thing Current thinks about it, for the first time, even knowing that like this place kind of like corrupts minds, the first time they think, does that mean this? Is that true for my mother?
You vocalize that?
Yes.
Monarch gives you this look, and it feels something akin to adoration. And says, your mother was no average mortal. This may leave you with questions. And if you have them, after all of this, I can answer them.
I appreciate that. All I ask for is the truth, since that seems to be the one thing that's been withheld from me about my family for a long time. Good or bad, I just want the truth.
I will speak it to you. I do not know what waits us on the other side. This place, the heart, it used to be this untouched thing of beauty with this strange obelisk in the center. This tower. But after those who raised me betrayed me, it didn't seem right. It didn't feel right that all souls got to come back, got to be refreshed and renewed by the Apotheon sisters. Like they hadn't really done anything. So I gave the heart a purpose. For thousands of years, every soul that did not deserve a second chance was sent here.
I think there's current looks at Monarch, unblinking, unchanging for a while. And at first feels mad of what they just heard from Monarch. And they keep looking at Monarch. And they say, Monarch, I know that you're a god, and maybe this is something that is beyond what gods are supposed to do or feel. They hurt you. You're angry. I don't know if anybody's told you that's okay, but that's okay. But if there's anything that I've learned in these short years with the people that I've grown to love and examining myself, you can't let that hurt other people. People don't deserve to lose second chances because some people have proved that they don't deserve second chances.
Current. You are right. Anger is a weapon, but it is not a crown.
I won't tell you to not be angry, though. I don't think I have that right. That's like someone telling me not to be angry, that my existence has been a lie from what I've grown to know. I know that letting anger just sit just creates rot. Rot that doesn't think, that just consumes everything around it. It's just hungry to see everybody's destruction around them. I don't want that for you, for me, for the core.
You're right. And so those souls whose anger was their only weapon, they were sent here.
What did that do to the heart?
I suppose we are to find out.
Does it always have to be like this?
This is the only existence I'll ever know.
I hope that whatever we find on the other side means that you get to finally choose a new existence. What you want. Not what's expected. You deserve that too, Monarch.
Current. You are every single thing I wish I saw in myself.
Let me help you see.
That's why you're here, right?
Hope so.
Do you have any other questions before we go?
but I'm sure I'll have plenty when we're out and together. There'll be time for that.
Plenty. And she'll be there too. All right. You guys approach the center of this crystal. You begin to realize that pulse that you were feeling earlier, well, it's real and it's happening. You actually watch as you feel the pulse of the crystal in the center happen, and it sends this radiant energy flare. You watch as it'll ripple up past, like up through this like force field that's blocking off your path. And Monarch turns to you and says, all right, these are going to be slow pulses at first and then happen faster and faster until there's no gap between them. That is the heart swell. It will temporarily deactivate the portal just enough to let us pass. And then there will be another heart swell in exactly 90 minutes' time. After that, there won't be another one for at least a small enough one to let us out. Weeks.
So we have to do this now. We have to get out.
Before you, Current, I wasn't worried about getting out. And now I find myself incredibly worried about it.
I don't want to be the source of hardship going into this. I know it's taken so much planning for this moment for you. I trust you, and I'll do whatever that we have to get back out in time.
My only ask is that if I give you an instruction, you follow it without question.
Promise.
Thank you for trusting me.
These markings on the floor, what do they mean?
These are the runes that I cast to keep the souls unworthy of reincarnation trapped behind this gate.
Do you think whoever's trapped behind there knows you put them there?
I hope they do. I stand by each and every single one of my rulings.
So what happens now? We wait until the right moment.
We won't have to wait very long. It's approaching. And you look around and you realize that Monarch's right. The swell is picked up and possibly fast. They start walking up towards the portal wall with you in tow. And Monarch says, about 30 seconds now. You ready? Please roll a perception check.
Okay. $21?
21. Yeah, that's more than enough current in these few remaining seconds before the portal opens, and unfortunately without enough time for you to really bring it up to Monarch for you to gaze through the portal. Now that you're close enough. And Monarch, they mentioned an obelisk. But you know it as something different. Why, that feels like a damn near exact replica as the freaky little tower that was inside that temple you were in not too long ago. Like, damn fucking near identical.
Can't do nothing about it. Oh no. I think maybe Current's like in that moment, they're like, they turn real quick to go to Monarch, even though they don't have enough time. It like cuts off, and they're like, "Hey, isn't that?"
That's exactly what happens as like the pulse gets faster and faster and faster until it matches your own and then surpasses your own. It leaves your heartbeat catching up, getting faster and faster to try and match it, because your heart says, oh, well, that surely must be the severity of the situation. That's how fast my heart should be beating, faster and faster and faster and faster, until portal thins to nothing. And Monarch takes your hand and pulls you through with them.
Is there any kind of feeling as we're like passing through that portal?
Yeah, every inch of matter in your body seizes and then relaxes. And then there's that pit feeling of a drop in a roller coaster ride. And then the jolt of anxiety, of panic when you wake up because you felt like you're falling. All of these things in such a rapid succession, all at once, one after the other. It is almost enough to distract you from the sudden emptiness in your hands. As when you step through the portal and on to the other side, you turn your head to the left and see absolutely no one at your side.
I kind of have this moment where like I come up for air, like I'd been holding my breath, and kind of like just burst through the surface of something. And before my eyes even register it, my brain has registered that there is nobody holding my hand. And I'm kind of looking around before my eyes have even adjusted enough to see. Quickly realize that I'm all alone, and again, almost kind of hyperventilating, but then frantically go into my bag of holding to try to find the compass.
You pull out the
pull it
compass,
out.
and it's spinning.
I start shouting Monarch's name.
Okay.
Just asking, where are you? I can't see you. We're not supposed to do this alone. I wasn't supposed to do this alone.
One moment of silence, and then two. You take a moment to scan your surroundings, hoping that, well, God, that it would just show you where your parent is. And yet, all you can see are these giant crags of rocks. And that pesky little tower.
I'm going to try to compose myself a bit. Try to focus, and the only thing Current could think of is they drop down to their knees and take a deep breath, pull out the locket that they have underneath their armor, tucked it in there to keep it safe, and as they're holding it, just try to put themselves back in the meditation room, trying to just be still and calm and see if they can perceive anything by doing that.
Perfect. You try to focus and hone your mind on that. And that's where we'll go to break. We're going to take another quick 5, give everybody a chance to stretch their leggies, and we'll see you on the other side to figure out what the heck's going on.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We are back, but as you have noticed, we are missing some people. There was an internet outage, and it looks like it is not coming back for a hot minute. So we hate to leave you on this little cliffhanger, but we simply must. So that is going to be it for tonight's episode. We'll obviously have part 2 of the finale next week. And then a week after that, we will have a post-season 2 retrospective where the cast will get together, talk about our favorite sauce, best moments from the season. I have a feeling there's going to be some hot sauce stirred next week, so I'm very excited to see what happens then. Ooh. And then we just get to talk about all of it at the very, very end. So thank you for coming out tonight, and thank you to Die Hard Dice once again.
Yes, thank you.
We love you very, very much. Other housekeeping, we do have a Patreon renovation coming. I can't give too many details. I know I'm working on some journal entries personally.
It's going to be sexy.
It is going to be sexy, as everything we do, frankly, I think is.
Hey.
Yeah, and other than that, obviously, please check out Peter, Lyrica, if you want to talk about that. Giving Peter some sweet funds.
I can. So yeah, our dear sweet Peter has to have bladder surgery. And we're trying to get that done before it gets to like a life-threatening situation. So everything that y'all, help to donate towards the Chaos Bar and the Ko-fi, thank you so much. It's gonna help our little boy get better, who is crying at me right now because he wants snacks. So I'm gonna give him some snacks.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you all for coming out. Where's Monarch? I don't know. What's happening in the ship? I don't know.
Let's find out.
I'm literally going to lay awake tonight, wondering about if Shade's okay. And what happened to Brian? We don't know.
Shade, you bestie.
We had such a cute scene, and I don't know if Shade's charred corpses in the woods somewhere. So tune in next week.
Oh my god, he's screaming in a closet. That's what he's
Got
doing.
to sing out loud. We gotta do it.
He was singing on the way down.
Get me out of here.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be left in charge. Thank you for coming out. We will see you next week. We love you. Good night.